Hey everybody, figured I'd make a video. It's the Hurricane Helene is kind of coming in, and I don't know if I'm gonna do it in 2 or 3 different part videos or summarize them all, put them all together. I haven't really decided. I'm gonna try to do updates and just kind of show the changes and the differences as time goes on. They've already canceled school. Today's September the 26th. It's almost 10 a.m. They canceled school Thursday and Friday pretty quick yesterday, and I'll just kind of do some updates. I don't have a rain gauge, so I don't know how much rain we're getting, but right now it's not too bad. It's rained pretty steady. I got home somewhere around 4:30 yesterday p.m. and it started raining. It's rained pretty consistently all night long and into the morning. It's not heavy rains, but it'll pick up and be steady, and then it's light rains, just kind of on and off. But what I'll just kind of show everybody. I mean, it's not a washout. By the way, the woodshed's doing great. I mean, the wind's blowing some rain in on the sides, which isn't major. It does keep the wood drier than just leaving it outside or covering it in a tarp and with a bunch of holes in it. So just an update on that. But anyway, I'll kind of get back to it. We haven't had a whole lot of rain yet. Everything's kind of just getting soaked right now. It's puddling up in some areas. They are forecasting for us, this part of the county, to get 8 to 10 inches of rain. The southern part of the county is supposed to get 10 to 15 inches of rain, from what I just heard. That's pretty significant rainfall. We haven't had much rain at all here lately, so we might be underwater before long. From what I've heard, this could be comparable to the flood of '77, which I wasn't around then, obviously, but from what I was told, it washed every bridge on this road out. Power was out for over a week, so I mean, that's a pretty big deal. Hopefully it don't come to that. Bridges have obviously been upgraded and updated a lot since then, so maybe, hopefully, that won't happen this go around. But if y'all have checked out some of my shorts, I've got a short kind of all the way at some of my oldest videos. You'll see the creek running out in the road right here. I believe this is a 6-foot tile. I mean, it was pushing the limits on it, running out in the road and everything. Luckily for me, I'll kind of give a little perspective. I mean, it's got to run out in the road and pretty well flood the field over here before it's going to get up into the yard, so that's good for me. I'm hoping it doesn't wash the tile out. If it does, we might be in pretty bad shape. But as of now, I think it's just the Category 1 hurricane. Hasn't even made landfall yet. It's supposed to strengthen and make landfall, I want to say, I think it's later on this evening in Florida, and be a Category 3, possibly a Category 4. But it's supposed to be coming right over western North Carolina. So I'm gonna be filling up a big Arctic cooler in the bathtub and filling it full of water so we can take baths and fill up a few jugs and everything so we have drinking water. Hopefully we don't lose power, but from what I've heard, expect it, and you should always expect the worst. But I'm kind of rambling a little bit, but we'll see how it goes. I'll try to make a few updates and show you the creek and everything, and we'll see the changes and the transformation, everything. So hopefully we don't get completely washed out. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, comment, and thanks for watching. Hey everybody, it is, I think it's Friday, September the 27th. Hurricane Helene is finally hit. This morning it was somewhere around Valdosta, Georgia. It kind of blew my mind. The closer it got and everything, the more rain they projected for us. And I think I said earlier that it was going to be comparable to the flood of 1977. Well, they started comparing it to the Great Flood of 1916. That, well, if you'll look it up, I mean, it pretty well put most of western North Carolina underwater. Or at least the Asheville area and so on. But well, We've got a considerable amount of rain. I again don't know how much, but it's pretty well flooded our little road. It's over the bridges in a lot of places. It looks like it's about to pull a whole bridge out of the road. But I'm gonna try to show y'all a video of the creek and let y'all see what's been going on. It's pretty wild. If y'all have seen the short that I made earlier this year, well, I actually videoed it in 2021 in August when a hurricane hit. It flooded excuse me, it flooded pretty bad. And this is a very similar situation, but I'll show y'all what everything looks like. I don't know how well you can hear me, but that's the neighbor's bridge, the old wooden bridge. It would surprise me if it makes it through this storm. I mean, it's getting absolutely hammered right now. We've got creek going across the road. It's running right down the middle of the road. Wind is blowing like crazy. I don't think I've ever seen the wind this fast. Every once in a while you'll hear the trees just crunching and breaking in the woods, just every so often. It's pretty bad. We got debris going down the road. The creek's pretty well level with the road. I think earlier I made a video. That's like a 6-foot tile in the creek. You can see how much water it's pushing through it. I mean, that's a lot of water. Right now, this has happened just here in the past little bit. It wasn't doing this a little bit ago. But it's just, we're getting hammered bad. I've only seen it do it flooding like this one other time, and that was again in 2021. And I mean, it'll surprise me if we can make it through this and still have a driveway. It'll surprise me if it don't wash the state roads out too. Hey everybody, it's Sunday, about 8 a.m. Since it's been 2 days since we've been out of power, pretty well since Hurricane Helene, or I guess it was a tropical storm when it hit here, but when it hit, and I'll tell you, you kind of hear people going back to the Stone Age. If this happens or that happens, well, it's happened here. Luckily I charged my batteries up for the GoPro, but this county, western North Carolina, eastern Tennessee, I've heard parts of South Carolina, I mean, we're in bad shape. There's no cell phone reception, even all the way to Asheville, and Asheville's like an hour away from what I've heard anyway. There's no power, there's no nothing. People are getting creek water to flush the toilets and take baths with, and luckily we prepared and filled a bathtub up with water, but I mean it's only going to go so far. I mean, we've been 2 full days with no power. Me and Daddy have been kind of sharing the generator. He'll run it for a couple hours, and then he brought it over here last night and we run it a little bit, and then I shut it off overnight and started it again this morning. Luckily I've got a little bit of coffee, but the county's in bad shape. There's a lot of other places in the county that got worse flooding than us, but I think this area we had more trees down. I mean, we've got, just on this road, I live about a mile up it, and we had like 4 or 5 power poles snapped. Power lines laying in the road, people driving over power lines. I mean, it's if you can imagine the end of times, it's pretty well what it is here. But I'll just kind of show the damage. Here's the neighbor's bridge. Luckily it held up. That's been kind of our way in and out right now. Waters have went down. I mean, it's chewed up the sides of the road. Pretty bad deal. I've never seen water that bad here. I mean, usually this is a pretty small little creek, and I mean it might have been ankle deep, if that, a few days ago where we haven't had rain. I mean, but look at it now. I mean, it's washed. I don't know if you can see that good. It's washed back underneath the road. There's nothing holding the edge of the road up right there. Just washed massive rocks out of the creek. We got water running down the middle of the road. From the other side of the road, we've got another creek that never has water in it. That ditch never keeps water, and it's got about half as much water going through it as us on this side. But I was going to show y'all. I mean, my mailbox and everything gone. Whole other side of my culvert gone. I can't even get the truck out. I mean, this is my main driveway, and it's gone. We're having to go up through kind of the woods with the tractor and down through the neighbor's yard and down through their driveway just to get in and out right now. And we have been for 2 days. Me and Daddy, which I don't like working on Sunday, but me and Daddy's going to try to work on this and have some way of getting out. I mean, it still ain't going to serve much purpose, because right now there's no gas. You drive the Burnsville, and there is no gas whatsoever. You go to the pumps ain't even on. Nobody's got power. I mean, it's like a ghost town. People's driving around for some reason, and I don't know what they're gonna do when they run out of gas, because as far as I know, we ain't got no gas. I mean, there's people driving on the main roads on four-wheelers and stuff right now. I've got several videos, several pictures on my phone, on the GoPro. I may mix them all together just to show what's happened, but I mean, it is just mind-blowing. I've talked to several people that was here during the flood of 1977, and they said that this one was much worse. That 1977 didn't have nothing on this. There's never been flooding like this in this area anybody that's alive has ever seen. So I would safely say that what everybody was saying right during the storm, that it would be comparable to the Great Flood of 1916. This one will be one for the history books. It'll be the flood of 2024. So I mean, it's devastating. I mean, it ain't just this area. It ain't just this area within, you know, a radius of 5 miles or 10 miles. It's counties and areas. Hey everybody. I don't know when I'll post these videos. I don't know when we'll have internet, anything like that. I should have videoed doing the work we done. Usually Daddy don't like being in the videos, so I never video when he's helping me. And he asked me, he said, "You get it on the GoPro?" I said, "No." He said, "Well, why not?" So you live and you learn, is what it is. But I am tickled to death. I never thought I'd be this happy having a driveway again, but it is awesome. Well, don't know if you can see, but we've been digging into that bank. We've been picking up rocks and throwing it down here. And here is the finished product. I can finally get my pickup across the creek, the tractor. I ain't having to go through the neighbors, nothing like that. Daddy said he didn't want to be in the video, but says he don't, but you're in it now. But I am tickled to death. Here's a little more of it. I don't think that's too bad at all for 2 country boys and 2 tractors. So I am very tickled. I didn't really want to work on Sunday, but you know, it's well worth it to be able to get out of the driveway again. I haven't even drove across it, but I'm going to here in a minute. But I think this looks pretty good. We're going to try to get one of the neighbors. He's got a track hoe, and we're going to try to get a few of these big rocks out of the creek and try to pile them up against the fill dirt and around the tile. Give us a little more protection, hopefully keep it from washing out again. So hopefully here in the next day or two we'll have that done, but I am tickled to death. First time I've been able to get out of the driveway without walking or going through the neighbor's yard in 2 days now, so that is awesome. A little bit of an update. We heard on the radio that they did have gas in Burnsville, and me and Daddy went, and there was so many lines to the gas station. It's pretty crazy. We didn't want to sit there for 2 hours waiting in line, and by the time we get up there won't be any gas. I think they had a $40 limit at the pump per person, so I'm sure we'll be out before long until they start trucking some in, but at least some people are getting some. There is a little bit of power in Burnsville. A few of the red lights was working, some of them still wasn't, but that's a plus. We may not have internet for months. I don't know, maybe a long time before I get to post the video, but I'll have it for documentation anyway, so just kind of be able to look back on and tell a story anyway. This will definitely be one for the history books, without a doubt. I mean, it's just absolutely devastated our community, our state. I'd say parts of South Carolina and East Tennessee's in the same boat we're in. There are places in the county, I think the south end of the county, they had more water damage than most, and we're kind of at the northeastern side, I believe, and we had a lot more wind damage and quite a bit of water damage, but still not as bad as the south end. The west end of the county didn't look nowhere near as bad. Could be wrong. It just, I guess, depends on where at in the county you're at. But there are people at the southern end of the county that's just, they don't have a house anymore. I mean, it's just absolutely gone. Houses just absolutely wiped off the foundation. Michaelville post office, it's gone. There's, all you can see is block where the post office used to be. It's unbelievable. And there's trash way up in the trees, where 4 or 5 foot up in the trees where the water had been. I mean, it's just, I don't think anybody alive has seen anything like this in this area anyway. But we're blessed to be able to still have a home. We've got water, I mean, creek water. A lot of the communities helping out. I think the communities have done more work than the state right now. People just going and cutting trees out of the road and clearing mud and rocks and everything else, and people have been very busy, but the community's working together, and there's people with springs. They're offering other people in the community and neighborhood access to water, so that's pretty awesome. But I don't know what we're going to do when we run out of gas. I don't know when we'll get gas. I don't know when we'll get power. I don't know when we'll be able to go back to work. That's kind of worrisome, especially when you're, you know, in debt and you kind of worry about losing stuff. But I don't really see how they can hold it against you if you haven't had power and you can't go to work. So I mean, it's been 2 days before I've even been able to get a vehicle out of my driveway. So, but we're fortunate and we're blessed to have what we have and be where we're at now. And it's going to take some work and everything to get back on our feet.